Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
The aftermath of every social revolution brings about change. Cultural norms and landmarks shift as our minds and hearts expand beyond the familiar. To everything, there is a season and a time to every purpose in the land of the living. This is our time to renew, revive, and restore the hope lost to the busyness of life. This is our time to dig again and rebuild from the storms of our past on a solid footing that holds. Welcome to The Foundation.
The Foundation. Foundation.
The Foundation, the Cards Grant is brought to you by Alive, Bond for Bones, Burger King, Commonwealth Bank, Epic Battery, Grand Bahama News, Popeyes, Prince Masters, and Ron's Electric Motors.
Foundation.
Now who put the pepper in the Vaseline? Who put the pepper in the Vaseline? Who put the pepper in the Vaseline? Oh Lord, I can't stand this pain. I want to know who put the pepper in the Vaseline? Who put the pepper in the Vaseline? Who put the pepper in the Vaseline? Oh Lord, I can't stand this pain. Listen, two sissy was living in this apartment.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant in your company. It is a beautiful Wednesday, live and full effect. I'm so grateful to be in your company today, guys. I hope that you're doing good. The sun out and it raining in certain spots. They say the devil and his wife fighting. I don't know. But I need to know who put the pepper in the Vaseline. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a beautiful day. Grateful to be in your company today. Make sure you pick up your Guardian newspaper. Got to shout out my good, decent people over at AFS Insurance Agents and Brokers. They got everything laid out. Make sure you go and check them out down there. If you're looking for sort of insurance, bulk insurance, car insurance, all those particular things, my guys can take very good care of you. AFS Insurance Agents and Brokers. Go down there, number 407 Blue Hill Road South. They can take very, very good care of you. Give them a call, 341-1-AFS, 341-1-AFS. Ask for my good friend Ethric Bow. He'll definitely take very, very good care of you. 9 to 5 throughout the week, 9 to 2 on Saturdays. Guys, pick up your Guardian newspaper. All the information's in there. I know it's midday, but, you still got to be able to read that thing. 200-plus job boost for BPL upgrades. Union leader calls for more information from the government on workers' future. I'd like to get more information also. A man was murdered last evening on Hannah Road. Is it 64 or 65 for the year? 64 or 60? I think it's 65. I think it's 65, right? SIB on ground probing allegations. This is what Fernandez says. Information's in the paper also. Man acquitted of rape he was alleged to have committed as a teenager. Information's in there. And the Eleuthera, you got to check it out down. The Eleutheran Adventurers. This is definitely the adventure now. In Eleuthera, the Water and Sewage warns that Eleuthera residents to brace for water outages. This is bananas. The girl came online, say she in bed in 3 days. For her to deal with this dirt, she got to go smoke something. That's what she says. Did you say, I'm in bed in 3 days. Mother's sick. I can't take this scent. I might as well got to go smoke something. Is that what you, is that what we, is that what we're doing out here? This is too much. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Live in the Full Effect. I want you to be able to join me in conversation. My very good friends in the studio with me today on this Wednesday as we get into this thing. Diving in there as it relates to, sort of the discussion that we have on Wednesday, sort of an open table, round table discussion that we do. Give me a call, 323-623-2325, 431-632-54-259, anywhere from the family violence, 242-300, 5720. Hit me up, 422-4796. Garth Roseborough is here with me today, ladies and gentlemen. He is got a story to tell. My brother, say good afternoon to the people out there.
I want to thank the Guardian staff and company and management, and especially my good friend Howard Grant for having me here once again, and you, the listening audience. And you see, Howard is in a very joyful and gleeful mood. It's like payday around here. But during the rain spell, I ran out of the rain into my friend's car, and I did sit on a cup of hot Bahamian pepper sauce. And that brought the song to you today from the great Ronnie Butler, who put the pepper in the Vaseline. Let me tell you something. I don't know what in the pepper, the gold pepper or the hot pepper, I don't know what type of pepper that was, but whoever put the pepper in that cup.
I wasn't going to tell you a story. I want you to tell your story.
Yeah, but Howard,
I wasn't going to tell you a story.
we're talking about transparency now and accountability, so we don't want them to think we just picked the song out of the air.
Okay, Prince.
We actually had a hot pepper experience, but it had nothing to do with the Vaseline, though. It had everything to do with just some good old Bahamian South. So if you are visiting the Bahamas,
if y'all can see him sitting on the edge, right?
if you're visiting the Bahamas from anywhere around the world and you like hot food, there's something that we have here called sauce. And you got chicken sauce and pig feet sauce and you got, what's the one, sheep tongue chicken, pig feet.
They got ribs too.
They got Kong sauce too. They got all kinds of different sauce, but you ask for sauce.
When we was younger, Grandma used to do pig ears. Just the pig ears. That's a crunchy piece.
Oh, you got the chicken foot too. The chicken foot sauce. Yeah. It's all type of different sauce. But the one thing that Bahamian people do enjoy, even in their Kong salad, is some good hot pepper. So
you need that.
You need that? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Well, I don't need that today. Mm-hmm. I think I got enough pepper for the rest of the week.
It's good when it's going in.
Oh, Jesus, when it come out.
Oh, my God.
Hallelujah.
I tell you that now.
Well, hopefully today we have a hot pepper show for you today. Let's put it that way. And it's good for you to be with Howard Grant here today in the studio. So, Howard Grant, thank you once again.
We've been talking for the past week or so about corruption, the cause and effect that's in our society. I was accosted today in one of the supermarkets to talk about some allegations of corruption way back, and how it has been forged. It's sort of officials had framed it like this is a joke. This is not real. Mm-hmm. Official frame. I got to be decent because I'm not going to say what this was about, right? But I got documentation, information that this story that many of us has put out of our minds years ago, it seems to have validity. And then it takes me right back to today, how there is relentless allegations and speculations about corruption. And C.A. Nuri reminded me of something. In the Commission of Inquiry in 1988, the information came out, I think it was Bishop Leish Boyd, that says that we have a culture of dishonesty in this country. A culture of dishonesty in this country. And that was heavy. That was heavy when he was saying it.
But only in this country, or is it a culture around the world that we have adopted?
Well, I can't concern myself with what's around the world. I only can concern myself with what's the plank in my eye before I sweep around the doorsteps of any other man. They have their own responsibilities, their own constitution, their own sovereignty to deal with. But we, locally, despite the influence from an external standpoint, we need to be able to have some integrity. Now, no matter what people say about America, no matter the darkness associated with America and how they say fraternities run America and skull and bone and this and that and all these particular things, these relentless allegations, speculations, conspiracies associated with it, you do something in America. You do it. They're coming for you.
It's a different society, though. Not that America is a clean society in terms of its moral fiber, but it does give the appearance that it's always fighting for justice, it's always fighting for peace.
It don't matter how much money you have, they're coming for you.
But in the Bahamas, our history is one where we've not been totally exposed to anything else. You go back to Christopher Columbus coming here, that was a lie. To the extinction of the Indians, and then we as a people, our race came here, that was a lie. Piracy, buccaneering, bootlegging, shipwrecking, it's all a lie. It's all corruption. It's all for me, baby. The drug trade, the human smuggling, it's all a lie. I mean, this is what we have been accustomed to in the past. We have cloaked it under a Christian nation, but that is not true. We know that to be so. And so when I was growing up, Howard Grant, and the younger people, you have to forgive me, but we grew up when people were driving Corvettes, 280 and 300 ZXs, the Cedric, the Laurel, and all those other type of cars. And children would bring those things home to their parents. Children ain't got no job, Howard Grant, no 9-to-5 job. Where do they get the money from? And parents who were from Church of God and Church of God of Prophecy and Seventh-day Adventist and Baptist, Anglican, all across the board, was accepting these gifts from their children. So when you ask for...
Is it that much desperation in this country? Is it a relentless desire to acquire more things?
Things.
Right? That's what it is. The
Thingsiness.
acquisition of things gives you value in life.
That is
And
what
so
has been
because
sold
we
to
need
us.
value, wherever we get these things from, we ask no question. I always tell you about this. There's a house in 8 Mile Rock. Right? They got clapboard homes in 8 Mile Rock. There's a house that we know of in 8 Mile Rock. And the children was very mischievous, these children, right? This woman had a bunch of boys. They were thieves.
I know he's going to say that.
They were 100% thieves. Anytime you're missing something, we would go look for them. They were thieves.
And you would find the stuff.
They used to have the little boy. Listen, my daddy's house get broken into more than 10 times when he was building his house, right? They stole all my Nintendo, all my Thief of Agrabah, all my Michael Jackson movies.
Oh, you
all
were
my
spoiled, eh?
Right. My daddy them used to. My mom
You
used
spoiled.
to. My mom used to get me straight. When the Nintendo thing came out, with
You had one of
with
them?
the bike, yeah, with the jump, the Sega. I had all those things.
But you're so spoiled, fella, eh?
Yeah, my mom made them love me. Praise God for
But
that.
Howard, I'm glad you spoke about Grand Bahama and the Clapboard House and everything, right?
But let me tell you a story. The house only big as in here. The fella stole. You remember when LED flat screen first came out? When you cut them on, every place get hot. It was hot in the room.
LED?
The plasma screen. The plasma. You cut it on, every place get hot. It's when the flat screen first came out, right? Fella stole one of those, and I think it might have been maybe about 50, 60 inches. It was a humongous television, right?
Wow.
Stole one and put it in this mother clapboard house.
You catch a fire.
You would think an alien in there when they cut that thing on in the night, right?
Whole thing light up like a spaceship.
Light up like a spaceship, and the whole house hot, how small it is, right?
Everybody sweating.
She started in front of the judge and tell the judge she didn't see it. Well, I didn't know. I didn't see it.
Oh, she ain't see that.
She didn't see it.
So she's a liar too.
She didn't see it.
And a thief.
She didn't see it.
My Lord.
And the truth is not in her.
You know, every time you speak about Grand Bahama and Howard, I know I spoke to you briefly about this off the air, and I did ask you to share this with the Bahamian people. I don't know if you're prepared to do that today. I visited Grand Bahama, your home island. There are a number of lavish homes in Grand Bahama, very well built. But I also had an experience there that stuck in my mind that made me want to cry in this modern day Bahamas. There were people living on the beach. There were a number
I don't think we have that issue anymore.
There were a number of foreclosed homes all over. They were empty. No one was living there. But there were people living in their cars on the beach. What's happening in Grand Bahama in terms of our progress as a 51-year-old nation? What's happening now in Grand Bahama on the ground? In that regard?
There is still a mass exodus out of Grand Bahama, and I can say this.
Mass exodus?
It's a mass exodus. A lot of persons are leaving Grand Bahama. I had a conversation the other day trying to be able to acquire something and send it back home. So I made a strategic telephone call and, asked, I need some help to do this, this, and this. And they say, how would you moving back to Grand Bahama? Like, are you stupid? That's how.
What?
It was framed in such a manner that says, Howard, are you moving back to Grand Bahama? What are you doing? Well, are you out of your mind? And I said, no, it's not a move. I just want to be able to kind of send something and kind of do something there. I said, oh, okay, right? And I thought about it, and I said to myself, if these particular persons in high-end positions recognize that there's no need to go to Grand Bahama, and there's relentless promises made to Grand Bahamians that exist in this particular place, there may be no desire, not at this time. There's no pressing need to kind of focus to put its attention on Grand Bahama at this particular time. Every single week, God sent. If I go out somewhere, I see more and more people from Grand Bahama.
Wow.
Every single week. I got coffee. I doing a little hibiscus tea from the little coffee space.
Hibiscus?
Yeah, I had a nice site. No, well, this is
Where you learn to get these?
right?
You still spoil. Hibiscus tea. Who drinks hibiscus tea? Who
That's
does
a
that?
good tea. That's a good tea. You can get the tea.
Jeez.
I had some hibiscus tea, right? So, and I went to a little coffee shop, right on the corner across the street from the hotel on down in Nassau, the city center, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I went there and turned around. I saw someone who I went to school with. Say, hey, Howard. I say, hey, girl, what's up, hugger? Hey, hello. Well, I just moved here now, so, but my sister was here for X amount of years, and the only people home is mommy and daddy. That's it. It's the only people home. And the only reason they home is they take care of the house. That's it.
And if they don't take care of the house, what happens?
The house can get dilapidated and break down into nothing.
Or someone else moving there.
Ain't nobody who can move in the house. Ain't nobody there. Ain't nobody there. Everybody here. Who can move in the house? My brother, none of my brothers, the only person home with my mother and my father is my sister. And she's getting ready to move. There's no one home in the house.
What
There's
in the world?
all of us who were born in Grand Bahama gone. Be gone.
Now, the proximity of Grand Bahama to North America is just a quick flight over.
Yeah.
So you would have thought that would really be a really great tourist hub.
In the 80s it was. In the early 90s it was.
And
The casino used to do red-eye flights. You would be able to kind of jump on a plane midnight. Red-eye flights, right? For casino competitions and tournaments, what they used to do. My uncle was working in the casino at the time. He used to love this time. He would jump over on the plane, go over to West Palm Beach, identify his people, pull them over, jump on the plane, come over, do his tournaments. That's how they survived. It was a tremendous amount of money. You hear me? And I know it was money in Grand Bahama because every time my uncle get tipped, I end up with a little $100, $200 in my
What?
pocket every
boy,
single
you
time.
so spoiled. It's unbelievable,
He's like,
man.
he used to let me his car, right?
You had to drive car too? How old you was when you started driving?
16, I was 16.
Oh, you was almost legal. All right.
No, I had my license at 16.
You took the driving test and everything, or you
Everything,
got the...
yeah, I was driving
You was
from
a
I
no
was
backdoor
11,
license
you know.
fella.
My granddaddy used
That's
to
what
let me,
I try to find out
My
from
granddaddy
you.
used to let me drive from I was
That's what
11.
I try to find out.
I ran my granddaddy truck into
I didn't know you was spoiled.
our cousin's house.
Yeah.
When I was a little
I
boy.
can see that in you. Mischievous.
No, it's a decent little boy.
No, you could be decent driving at 11.
You get enough cut if you have to be decent eventually. Guys, give me a call 323-623-254-316-325-4259. Anywhere for the family violence 242-300-5720. Hit me up 422-4796. Call on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Hello.
Hi.
Good afternoon, Howard. First time caller.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. I am calling because you are talking about my favorite island,
Praise
Grand
God.
Bahama.
Praise God.
The last time I was in Grand Bahama was 2006, attending my niece's funeral. Prior to that, I was in Grand Bahama for 10 years, which was 2008. Not 2000. Yeah, 2008. And it was a shame for me to go to Grand Bahama and see. Since Francis and Jane in 2004, when you had a last mass exodus of people leaving
Ain't
the
nothing changed.
island and going all over,
Nothing changed.
no successive government,
None.
PLP, FNM, GDP, whoever P's they had, none.
Unright.
And when
Peas and
I
rice.
came back to
It ain't
when I
nothing.
came back to Nassau, I took to the airways and spoke with the then Darrell Miller, and I said it was a crying shame to see the state that the government left Grand Bahama in after we had the double hurricane in 2004, Francis and Jane. So Grand Bahama was in a deteriorating state from then to now.
Yes.
You hear I say? They do not pay any attention to Grand Bahama. And it is a crying shame because in the days of the 50s and the 60s and the days of the boom, people from all over this archipelago flooded to Grand Bahama to get a better way of life. And it hurts me to see the way how Grand Bahama is treated.
I agree
And
with
that's all I have to say.
She's a good, decent woman. I agree with you. She
First
sound
time
like,
caller,
She
man.
sound like
Sounds
my
good.
auntie. I
Yeah.
agree. I agree with you. She sound like my auntie. It's good to hear from you. Listen, I am. I thought it was my auntie for true. I want to say this. From 2004, that's 20 years. That's 20 years. From 2004, from Hurricanes Francis and Jane. Do you know I wasn't even in Grand Bahama? That's when I had an opportunity to be able to be sent off to Colorado, right? My wife was in Grand Bahama, and I was like, I was breathing hard. I didn't know. I just got married maybe a year and a half before. And no, I'm sorry, I got married in 2003. So like a year before, right? And so I was, I was breathing hard. I didn't know what to do because I went out to Colorado the day the hurricanes hit Grand Bahama is when my plane touched down. My plane touched down the day the hurricane hit Grand Bahama in Colorado. And I was in Colorado for such a long time. Only when I came home, I saw devastation. For the entire time I was in Colorado, there was no power in Grand Bahama. None. None. Right? The same twigs and trees and so forth and so on, nature and moss and everything grew over those things. But the governments have done nothing with it. And, I can't be frustrated with the fact that the governments have done nothing for it because these are the people who you voted for. You voted for them. I can't understand how these people never do nothing for you, how the place break down the way it is, how all these issues that you're going through, and you're still out here going crazy. PLP, F&M, and you voting for these people and nothing.
I'll tell you what frightens me even further, though. And Grand Bahama is a very beautiful and attractive island. As I visited there myself, when I saw the International Bazaar and the state that was in, it also made me wonder. But that was yesterday, Howard. Now, today, we're looking at a beautiful island called Eleuthera, which was a place where the Eleutherans adventurers landed, and we had our first really formation of a city within the Bahamas itself, formed under the British rule, etc. And this island today is now said to be booming in terms of tourism, as Grand Bahama used to boom yesterday. But with the present boom, there's a water shortage. Now, we know that every city, every township around the world thrives where water is. For this island to have this type potential to boom and not have a consistent supply of water all of a sudden, to me, tells tales from yesterday.
Wasn't this an issue that existed from the FNM's administration? Was it under Ingram, or did it start under Christie? This was an issue and contention with the water and no. Let me fix this. Under Minnis, we remember specifically there was contention with the then head of water and sewage, Adrian Gibson. If you remember.
I remember Adrian Gibson.
You remember Adrian Gibson would push.
Gibson.
He would continue to be able to say that he's developing the infrastructure. He forged significant relationships with these particular persons. And then the people say they never got paid. From then to now, it was issues in Eleuthera.
And then Sylvanus Petty was head of the Water and Sewage Corporation, who is a member of Parliament for North Eleuthera. And so for that to actually have this chaos in terms of supply of water, to me, it's just unbelievable. What is the real issue of the water problem in Eleuthera?
I don't know. I think it's the same issues that we're having with, in my mind. I don't know if it's an infrastructural issue. We remember significant emphasis was paid. We remember the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding, the letter of intent, all those particular things to be able to get the infrastructure, all the pipes and everything down there. We remember all those things in the newspaper. But I really believe that the issue that Eleuthera suffers as it relates to water shortages, and we can be able to dive deeper into the story, is the same issue that we suffer in the city of Nassau with the lack of collection of our garbage.
Man, Howard, don't touch that nerve today.
I just have to say,
I woke up with that on my mind this morning.
My garbage was out in the front of my place for 2 weeks.
No, my garbage gets picked up 3 times a week. Literally 3 times a week, my garbage. Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturdays. Every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays, my garbage is picked up. And I commend those people who come into my settlement or my village or whatever you want to call it and pick up the garbage 3 times a week. But what bothered me, Howard, I heard Chester Cooper making remarks about the Gombe Festival situation, and I want to applaud them for even the thought. But, this is something we should have never let go. I used to love Gombe summer as a child. We brought in this thing called Jonkunu Carnival. I'm not against it, but I hate the idea that we are embracing this Jonkunu Carnival and letting go the idea of Gombe and the idea of Jombe Village. When we portray ourselves around the world, Howard Grant, internationally, we see this beautiful country in the magazines. We spend millions of dollars advertising the beautiful Bahamas. And then when you get here, Howard, as you just said, there's garbage over the street, pot cakes running everywhere, holes in the road, government dilapidated buildings, people driving these crackerjack cars with 3 tires and one, what do you call those things, a little donut tire? You understand? You look at people's roofs, the houses, they got 4 different color shingles on the roof, holes in the roof, houses not painted, walls broken down. This is not the Bahamas that we see in pictures. I remember as a child when you drive through East Street by the roundabout, we had 2 big limestone walls, and that used to just be picturesque and an experience. Every time you drive through this, it just used to move your whole spirit. But of course, we use that to build houses with and fill and curry. And now we're taking out all the high places in New Providence. We're taking away all the trees in New Providence. And so now what's looked at is a barren wasteland. It's deplorable. It shows no planning, no town planning, no city planning. It shows no direction. It's just total chaos, and it's just a moment that's just in my mind deplorable. I'm beginning to hate what I see every time I drive up my car and go down the street.
But how can we fix it? Let me take this telephone call. Call on the line. Go ahead. Go ahead, caller. Call on the line.
Yes, C. Allen Johnson here. Can you hear me?
Hey, go ahead, C. Allen.
Yeah, just a couple of things. I know about Grand Bahama, man. But just let me tell you, my first experience is that after I came home right after the 204, there's a guy came to Freeport, the Pegasus Wireless.
Pegasus, I remember Pegasus.
Right. So here it was that in the U.S., having spent almost 2 decades working with a group of people, because initially Wi-Fi was invented in Australia, but simultaneously, the people in the United States, the Netherlands, and Australia both claimed to have invented. In fact, it wasn't even resolved. Remember, that was in 2004 or 5 or so. It wasn't even resolved until 2012, or basically when they were awarded it. The point I make is that when you talk about Grand Bahama, is that somebody could come to the Bahamas, and they do this oftentimes, and this is very important, Howard. They do this oftentimes. What you have is charlatans come to the country, and because we are so techno-ignorant, they tell us things. This guy in Pegasus Wireless said he invented Wi-Fi, okay? And we celebrated him, and the PLP was all over the place that he's going to revolutionize the Bahamas. We're going to have a technology hub and everything.
If I remember correctly, that was Obi's guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's a PLP guy. But here's what happens. I got up and I said then, I went on the radio and everything, and I said, this guy is a charlatan. This guy has nothing to do with it. I know about Wi-Fi. I can give you the dates out of my head on when it was connected, when it was released to the public in 1997. I can tell you in 1992 when group with myself and others was given the prototype as a test bed for the WLAN and everything. Okay, so I knew, but guess what? They beat the daylights out of me because I didn't know anything. I was jealous. I was a hater until he went to prison. Okay, and there's multiple people came to Grand Bahama. Grand Bahama, the point I make to you is the Bahamas is the most digitally prepared country in the world. Grand Bahama, if treated as a country, would be the second most digitally prepared place on the planet. Preparedness is not utilization. The point I make for you is this. The 20 years, the 2 decades has passed, or the 25 years has passed. So what is happening right now is that we're in a new dispensation. It's a cycle that technology goes into. You know, I talk about the first internet revolution, second digital revolution, third technology revolution, fourth industrial revolution, fifth. Anyway, in the AI revolution, and the fifth. Well, my mind went blank.
You need some Ginkgo Galupo.
So what happens is but I can tell you right now, Grand Bahama is on the cusp of a rebirth. And if you're not back to Grand Bahama by 2030, you will not be able to make it back. And the point of that is you have to come now. Grand Bahama has a strategy, and it'll begin to be known. No, it does. It is. I'm telling you, because Grand Bahama has representation, future representation that will speak to this. All of them ain't necessarily sitting in Parliament right
call
now.
us back after this break, man. That sounds interesting. But I know you don't have enough time. Call us back after the break.
I just want to say this, but I'm simply saying to you is this. Unless we do Grand Bahama, the Bahamas must focus on Grand Bahama, not just Freeport on Grand Bahama, because there can be no economic development without Grand Bahama, plain and simple. But see,
I like it.
Howard, let's have a talk one day about what it is, so we could actually begin to find our purpose, develop our passion, and dream again for Grand Bahama.
Thank you, Mancy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mancy Allen. Okay, guys, let me take this quick commercial break and be right back after this.
Foundation.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Looking for great device deals and offers this summer? Look no further. Alive has special discounts on the latest smartphones, Ring devices, and accessories. Plus, as an Alive customer, you can expect exclusive yet extra offers and rewards, which means even more value for your money. We're talking more data, prizes, and surprises. Upgrade with us and experience the perfect summer with Alive in store or at bealive.com/deals.
Now let me see now. 326 EPIC. Hello? This Epic Eckert battery. This Miss Beulah from round the corner. I hear you're selling tires now on Wolf Road too.
Praise the Lord. It's about time. I live Fox Hill and Fire Trail. It's too far.
That ain't all. They open Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Sunday and holiday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
My brother Sam, he's a hacker, and he could go right there and get fixed up.
Call us at 326 EPIC. We ship also to the Family Island. This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant in your company, the foundation. Beautiful day. I am here grateful to be in your company today, just trying to be able to put everything together, guys. If you want to be able to give me a call, please do. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, anywhere for the family of islands, 242-300, 5720, or hit me up 422-4796. 422-4796 on the text. I'm sitting here with none other than Garth Roseborough. Being able to talk about these things. We just started off a kind of a conversation, and I don't know, I sent something to my producer. Can you see it on your phone? Producer? You saw it on your phone? I want you to play that for me. I'm sitting here with Garth Roseborough. I want you to play. I just want you to listen to this for me, just for 2 seconds. This is a quick little TikTok thing. I came across it this morning, but I want to be able to play it for you guys, just the audio, so you could be able to hear it and get an understanding of where we are as a society. Let's talk about this, right? When you're ready, you can just be able to press play.
I was watching Survivor. There was one guy, he was trying to make a net that can catch a lot of fish at once. So he was like the creative type. But then there was this other guy who was more orderly. He's like a management type. Every day he would just use his fishing rod to catch one fish, puts in the work, and people get to eat because of that. While this other guy spent weeks, he wouldn't catch anything. People started getting annoyed at that guy. That's what the creative guy gets usually in society. Until I think in the last week, he caught like 40 at once. From that point on, he started eating really well. You need both because you need the creative type, keep at it, risking failure. But then in the meantime, we still need to eat. So we still need that orderly guy to do the daily task. So there's still like cash flow coming in.
I wanted you to hear that. I wanted you to understand what's happening in our society. That we've neglected the creative concept. We've neglected the creative guy. The guy who's sitting down there and thinking of how to be able to move society forward. We've focused our attention more specifically as a society on the task-oriented individual who comes with one fish every day. And we've never yielded to this concept and idea. Have you ever thought about the fact that we could get more fish? We neglect this idea. We reject the idea of being able to capture more fish because we look at ourselves and say, well, we ain't got to be gluttons. We ain't got to be able to do this. We ain't got to do nothing. No one has thought about being able to capture more fish. This proverbial fish. The fish is economic, the economic fish, right? Being able to capture activity and productivity and being able to really encapsulate that and present this to a global market and say that this is what we offer here. I thought about Grand Bahama when I said that. I thought about Grand Bahama. I think a lot of persons on Grand Bahama are content with this kind of an idea, and this is to C. Allen's point. They're content with the idea of being able to eat one fish a day.
and rejected the idea of being able to tap into creativity so the entire place can blossom and boom again. Yeah. That's the issue that we're having in the Grand Bahama. That's the issue.
That's the issue it's having in the whole country.
We're having this issue, and that issue exists with the government of the Bahamas. The government of the Bahamas, who started off on the right track in identifying the talent, identifying those creative minds and putting them to the table, and then baptizing them within their political organization to reject the idea of nationalism.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you so far.
Many of the men and women who have been baptized under the umbrella of the first dispensation of the PLP have forgotten their oath to community, their oath and their commitment to the growth of community. They have now swam deeper and deeper in the PLP, as opposed to being able to understand that we still have a responsibility to national growth and development. These are the same people, in many instances, that came into industry, came into opportunity, and well the gate closed. They well the gate shut. They didn't just close the gate and lock it, they well it shut. You understand? And the only time that we've seen, and I've said this before, the only time that we've seen the gate open is when we saw the numbers industry. The numbers industry that was already blossoming. This wasn't something that this wasn't a startup company. They was already blossoming. They was doing big business, making big money under the table, under the radar. Well, not necessarily under the radar. Everybody knew what they was doing, but they accepted these particular things because they provided something that the society needed. They were the currency, the underground currency for the community. Formalization put them in the position where the gates was open for them and then it was shut back again.
You're onto something, Howard. I'm listening.
This is where we are in the country. If we don't find a space and a place to be able to identify and provide opportunities for other persons in this country, other than your friend, your uncle, your auntie, your cousin, your this, your that, who could give you a little couple $2 when you call and ask for some building materials, talk to me. Because the fellas just ask for building materials, they can need that. You have any plywood today? They need these particular things, right? And as a result of this, you are content with certain persons getting in because you know that will funnel and filter through you. But if you really cared about this nation, if you really was concerned about this nation, you would open up the gates, man, and let people go a free-for-all to be able to get to their objective, and you would see the creativity that exists here. But we ain't got that.
So let me tie your conversation together now. And I'm 100% with you in what you just said. You can feel free to call Howard if you disagree. You mentioned at the beginning of the show corruption. You mentioned at the beginning of the show that the people of Grand Bahama and otherwise, we cry PLP all the way and F&M all together. And, you know, we fight for our political parties. Now you're saying to me that there is opportunities that exist within our country for progression and for growth, but it doesn't seem to happen only because there is a funnel effect that if those that
what was the word that we used the other night? The pattern that we said. It was
holding pattern.
Okay.
So this funnel effect, this holding pattern, it exists until those that have the pen in the hand, who have the microphone in the House of Parliament, the Honorable House, have the ability to share with their family, friends, and lovers first.
No, but that's only ones you could see, though.
That's the ones we could see.
Yeah, there are other persons behind the gate.
Oh, well, I
behind the curtain.
I ain't gonna shame you all on national radio with that one.
These are other persons.
Them too. Persons. Those persons, right? So if you ain't one of those persons, then of course nothing happens for all of us. The real issue I feel, though, with governments around the world, including the Bahamas,
we could fix this,
is that no, it's not about fixing it.
This can fix.
It's the fact that the conversation is already fixed, with an exclamation mark.
Well, the fight already fixed.
It's fixed. Society has walls and that are created, has glass ceilings that are created to ensure that it stays fixed. That's why anytime you are about to get a bigger bite of the cheese, Howard Grant, there's something called taxes that continues to be a knee on your neck and keep you exactly where you should be. I'll give you a case in point. All morning long, exactly what you're talking about today in the spirit, I've heard this in 3 different conversations this morning before I got here. Why can't we fix this? And the answer has come through that because they do not want it to be fixed.
You know why? Because their minds are small. They're small.
It's not their mind. It's selfishness.
No, but they're small-minded.
And greed.
Let me tell you why. If they see us within a fishbowl, and I say they because there's no need to put a name to these individuals or groupings or organizations. If they see us as a fishbowl, our community as a fishbowl, that there's only a finite amount of persons here, there's a finite amount of talent here, and there's a finite amount of opportunities here. If you really look at this in your spiritual eyes, the fishbowl is humongous, but they have us operating in a small cup in the fishbowl. That's how we're operating.
Why?
Because they're small-minded. They don't think that we're bigger than where we are.
But how would they already have
no
the
matter
majority
how
of the
much
food?
money they're making right now, no matter how much money
Yes.
they will make 100 times more if they open up the opportunities to Bahamian people.
The objective is not to have 100 times more. The objective is just simply to have much more than you. This is what I'm trying to say to you,
That's
Howard
crazy.
Grant. That's all it is. Okay, I had a conversation before I came here, and you know what I said to my friend in South Carolina? I am not going to blame any race for where we are now. As a
This
people.
isn't a race issue.
No, I'm telling you why
Unless
I
it's
said
the
that.
race of Bahamians.
No, I'm telling you why I said that. Because
Black Bahamians.
we talk about this race issue with different skin hue color, right? But if you ask the average person of your same color description to support you, tell me how many of them will financially support you at all costs. But if you ask another hue to support you, they bring all their money to you. They're willing to support you. They're willing to show you love. So it's not a race thing for me. It's an attitude based on mentality. These people who you're fighting for now, speaking about this fishbowl, oh, so many of us in this fishbowl, why can't they share more with us in the fishbowl? The same ones who in that little cup with you in the fishbowl, they don't want you to get nothing. That's why the people who got the majority in the fishbowl don't want nothing to do with the cup. Leave the cup by themselves. Let them fight that out, and we can just continue to enjoy the food in our side of the bowl. That's what we experience in the Bahamas, and I am too guilty of this. That's why I started to build a wall around my house, because the people around my neighborhood keep asking, begging you for this, they begging you for that, they begging you. And I had to ask myself the question, what the heck you willing to give to me? If I give you a ride in my car from Golden Gates home all the time, and then when I ask you, you want to wash my car for me? Yeah, man, give me $130. But you just ride my car all the time.
$30 to wash your car?
Man, this is the type of love they got for you who looking out for them. So what do people like me do? We build a wall. We ain't want nothing to do with you because you are ungrateful and you don't seem to appreciate the things that we do. That's all I'm simply saying, Howard Grant. We got to look at this from both sides.
This is a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to be able to join me on the other side. I see the telephone lines are lit right up. You know we got to get into news to be able to talk about this. We're talking about some stuff. I believe that we have the answer, Garth. I just want to say that.
You want to fix it?
I believe that we have the answer.
So we got to fix it from both sides.
Yeah, I believe that we have the answer. I believe that we have the answer. And the answer exists with sort of the swipe of a pen and the government being able to identify, and more specifically, the leadership within government identifying that there are opportunities here and take advantage. All you got to do is a beta testing. If it don't work, then put it back, repeal
they're
it.
afraid. They're afraid.
Just repeal it.
Oh, they're afraid.
But you have to try.
No, but they're afraid.
You have to try.
If they try, they're
I was
afraid.
15 years old. I got to go to break. I was 15 years old. My granddaddy said, boy, you ain't my damn grandson. So I said, I can say
What?
something. And I said, you can say, he said, you ain't got no churn yet. I said, Pa, I'm 15.
Oh.
I said, I'm 15. He said, but you got to put the question to her. You got to try, baby. You got to try.
So you were spoiled early. You
That's
tried,
only been my only
but
point.
You tried when you was 15, right?
No, I never tried.
He won't tell lies. He won't tell lies.
My point is,
You ain't tried?
you got to try. Let me take this commercial break. I can be right here. I can come be back way back after this, guys.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation.
Do you have uncontrollable debt? Are you ready to make that move to Fidelity for a stress-free future? These loans have a built-in savings plan that pays you unbeatable interest. Ask about our debt consolidation loans today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Honey barbecue, sweet and spicy, all new.
Signature hot wings.
What's your flavor?
Roasted garlic parmesan, tastes so good, chicken.
Ghost pepper wings.
Now available at Popeyes in Nassau.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation. Foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant in your company, the foundation live and in full effect. A beautiful day. Grateful to be in your company. It's a Wednesday as you guys prepare for the weekend. Prepare to do your thing. We're here in the studio being able to chop these things down. I think we have kind of done our best to meander around the conversation without being able to step on any specific toes. I got a text just now. I can't even say what it is. Y'all are indecent. But I'd say, Roger, you made me laugh a tremendous amount. I just want to be able to say that. Shout out my good, decent people in Grand Bahama being able to text me, right? Sitting here in the studio with none other than my very good friend Garth Roseborough, being able to talk about national issues. And how do we rectify that? How do we find the answer? Garth, when we left off, we started to talk about issues that just seem unsurmountable, issues that we can't seem to get over, issues that we keep sliding down the backside of the thing and can't get over the top of this, right? And I believe that we can, right? I gave an example of how, and I played a little TikTok clip, that how we are accustomed to the one fish, eat today. One fish, catch one fish, eat today. Catch one fish, eat today. And the creative exists in our particular spaces that can be able to capture a good amount to ensure that there's productivity, growth, and development, but we haven't yielded or given opportunity to that creative in our space just yet. I believe with the of a pen that our prime minister could create it, because the former prime minister did it. Former prime minister did it, no matter what nobody said. He created an office for the wife of the prime minister.
Yeah, you hard like that.
That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
You hard like that.
He created an office for the wife of the prime minister.
Yeah,
and if he could create an office for the wife of the prime minister, he could create a delivery unit. If he could create all these particular things, then there could be a unit responsible for the development of the country, innovative development of the country.
Already. We have it.
Who's the innovative development of the country?
I listened to you. You said some.
Which ministry?
You said some powerful things that I got the answer. We have the answer, but we do not want to embrace the solution. I listened to you, and I want to say that I support what you said in terms of we can fix this. The question is, are we willing to pull the trigger on it? And I'll tell you in which form we can do it.
Let's go.
Howard Grant, on our family of islands, or if you want to say family islands, or you want to say the out islands, well, however your conversation goes, we have something called local government. But we have local government without empowerment, without financial backing.
But it's like the mafia set up the local government, sir.
This is what I'm talking about.
They set up in corruption.
But if I may be so silly today to mention something that someone said to me about Donald Trump, they said, Donald Trump said when it comes to abortion, each state, through their representation, should say whether they are pro or against abortion. So my thing in the Bahamas is that everything is centralized through the Westminster system on the House of Assembly right here in New Providence. But if we allowed each island to grow itself, each constituency to grow itself financially, if they were given a budget to manage, I can see where each island can deal with their issues at hand. Eleuthera has an issue with water. If we were given them an allocation based on the GDP or based on their income and how many tourists they're able to attract to the island and allocate to them properly the monies that they need to sustain themselves, then of course we can see a better Eleuthera. If we did it for Acklins, Acklins is a beautiful island. You go to Lovely Bay, that's where my great-grandmother's from, the Johnsons from Lovely Bay. If you go to Mequona, where the Taylors are from, the Browns, they're my family, give these people an opportunity to grow their island. You cannot allow the Member of Parliament, the House of Assembly, and the Ministry of Works, the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Local Government, the Ministry, and all these different ministries to have some say in your local affairs in these constituencies. So right here in New Providence, where I live in Golden Isles, should we not have a budget that is allocated to our local government for the upgrades that necessary for Golden Isles. We shouldn't have potholes all over our roads in Golden Isles. We got people who are building in the
Yeah, but
swamps.
the Ministry of Works and the Division of Road Maintenance actually indicates that they have. You remember when the representatives from the Queen's Council was here, whoever these particular persons were, the King's Councils, when they were here and they paved the road overnight.
Yes, sir.
And they indicated that they had $10 million allocated annually to be able to do that.
So if you give allocation by way of budget to each constituency, and each constituency has a local government that's empowered, and each constituency has what they call local constabulary in terms of the police force, then you will have a better and a safer Bahamas.
But I believe that our conversation is wrapped in, you ever watch those commercials when he says, in a perfect world, this would happen. But since we're not in a perfect world, this is available in Walgreens.
So why is it not perfect in terms of local government? What is stopping us from doing this?
Corruption. That's the imperfection. That is the maze, that the labyrinth that we have to go through. The corruption is what the issue is. Local government was forged specifically. Not the intent, not the constitutional design, not the layout. I'm talking about the individuals who are in local government from the inception of the organization. They carry their political flag on their back in local government for the purposes of being able to be recognized by central government and eventually afforded an opportunity to become a member of parliament, to become a significant member, that other things would flow through them. This is how it works. They looking to be able to please the big man, whoever this big man is, whoever the prime minister is, whoever these persons are looking over these particular spaces. Their allegiance is not to the community. Their allegiance is not to the community. Let me tell you how I know their
But then,
allegiance.
Howard, you can have checks and balances where, let's say, you're given an allocation to South Andros to pave the roads. You have a Ministry of Works here. You have someone that can police the efforts of South Andros. It ought to be approved.
That's what local government does. That's what local government's supposed to do. Local government is given an allocation. Okay, let me tell you what it is.
So who polices local government?
Let's say local government in 8 Mile Rock gets $5 million. No, let's be decent. Let's say local government in 8 Mile Rock, every dispensation, every cycle gets $600,000. Mm-hmm. They have to identify the biggest portion of that budget, which is garbage, right? Garbage is almost $11,000 a month. This is way back then. Almost $11,000 a month. For you to be able to get a contract to pick up the garbage, that's a big contract. $11,000 a month, that's a big contract.
Yeah.
And this is only in 8 Mile Rock. I'm not talking about now in Nassau. Garbage is big money.
Oh, yeah.
Big money. Okay, let's just be very clear about this.
I understand that.
Okay, so let's watch now. Right. So you get the allocation of local government garbage. We say all the members supposed to be able to come around and make a determination who to be able to get this, right? Who are we going to give this to? So your tenders come in.
Uh-huh.
You say, I could do it for this amount. I could do it for this amount. I could do it for this amount.
Uh-huh.
Now you and your grouping, because let's say you all are 5 people.
We listening.
You already then got 3 under your belt. You just got to convince the next 2 to be able to go with the man that you choose already. Because the conversation was already had that, listen, man, if y'all give me this, boy, let me tell you something. I can throw you out $3,000 a month.
You talking about shingles?
This is already happening. This is what happens in these particular spaces. I'm not asking you. I am telling you that this is what happens in these spaces. Now, unless there was an intervention where Jesus Christ showed up and he had to open up his hand to show Thomas that I am Jesus, and they said, well, okay, only because you show us your hand, we can let you do this. We can be able to straighten this out. If that has not happened, this is what exists in this particular space. This is what exists.
You see why I say we keeping our own selves back? You say we can fix this.
You don't get paid in local government, but you identify money after money after money after money in a place that is depressed. My God, you think you can get a little shave here and there? And they say me putting nothing on nobody. I'm simply saying to you that based upon your vulnerability and being placed in these peculiar positions, people make situations harder for themselves by deciding to go to the path that everybody goes. They don't go to the path, to the unbeaten path. They go, well, everybody else teething, and they do the same thing.
My God. My God.
This is what you're dealing with in this country. That's why local government will destroy Nassau. In the manner it is set up.
You think local government will destroy Nassau?
In the manner that it is set up now. In the manner that it is set up
Is there
now,
a better
that
way?
exists in the family of islands, of course there's a better way.
When I want somebody to call in and tell us what they think the better way is, because
of course there's a better
I think that's a beginning to the conversation, but I think that we need to address this. We need to fix this if we're going to have a better country.
Let me take a telephone call. Caller on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Grant and Mr. Roseborough.
Good afternoon. How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for taking my call.
Yes, ma'am.
I listen to Mr. Roseborough wherever he speaks. I follow him wherever he says he's going to be.
Praise God.
And I don't know him. But he does speak like I speak.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it has nothing to do with what party. It has nothing to do with what ethnic group you belong to,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm Caucasian.
Mm-hmm.
It does not matter your status, whether you're poor, middle class, or rich. It matters with money and the corruption that comes with money.
Mm.
The money flies out of this country and secured all over the world with our Bahamian people. But what I'm going to say to you right now is a matter of my own experience.
Mm-hmm.
For years, and I'm going to use the word we, I am not going to identify myself. I don't wish to. I'm not going to identify who I'm speaking about. I don't wish to. For years, in my hand, we had papers with the highest signature of the land. For years, we dealt with this emissary, money. For years, we struggled for everything on the fourth floor, on the tower, on the tower out at the port. We struggled with land, buying, selling, granting, leasing.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing worked for years with the highest hand on the document. And when we finally had a chance after years to get some compensation, we were told that what in the heck we would do with more than $1 million. We cannot let you get more than $1 million, because then you would dictate and tell me what to do. So we have to make sure we shut you up, never let you make it, don't let you get the money.
Okay.
And that's first-hand experience.
Mm.
I sat in high places, and the money just flowed out to Hong Kong, and the money flowed out to Switzerland, and the emissaries were splitting and flying, carrying the money, and they told we could not handle $1 million.
This is crazy.
So it's not class, it's not red shirt, gold shirt. It ain't nothing to do with that. It's to do with money, and this is many years in the making. And it's firsthand on the fourth floor of most of these buildings. And I may call you back, but I don't wish to be identified.
No, I ain't gonna try.
I don't wish to call anyone's name.
No.
But it is absolute money going back and forth out of the country, corruption in the highest status of this country.
My God.
Thank you for taking my call,
Beautiful.
Mr. Roseborough. I follow you wherever you speak.
Love you. Thank
I appreciate you. Thank you
Love
so much for your telephone call. Garth, that's heavy. What happened just now?
Boy, that's
Because I'm
mind-shaking.
listening. When I listen to this, I say this sound like
I was trying to tell you.
This must be a little Spanish well, because this sound, but it may be local. I said, but this doesn't sound like and then she says, I'm a Caucasian.
But listen what I'm saying. I was telling you
That
this.
even as a Caucasian, that you would believe that we have access to these things and they see us the same way. So
I've
this
been
ain't
trying to
so this
tell you.
ain't a Negro problem.
This is not a Negro. Listen.
This is a problem where they see us as Bahamians ain't worth nothing.
I said you in the cup. It in the color in the cup. We in this cup. They got the rest of this thing covered.
This corruption is a serious thing, eh?
Man, I told you the only way to fix it is to get down to where we can get to the root of the issue, which is a local situation. If you can separate the 39...
But the local situation that they design is designed in corruption.
Yes, because they
It is designed to perpetuate corruption.
They tie the 39 together. I'm trying to say to you, the umbilical cord between the 39, we need to cut it. We need to give each island some sense of sovereignty, some sense of pride, some sense of its own culture. Listen, I have been throughout these islands, and every island has a different culture. Every island has a different appreciation for Jonkanu and Goombay and telling old people stories. You go down to Cat Island, man, rake and scrape all night long. Allow that island to sell who they are and separate the money. But as long as the money continues to go back to Bay Street, we're going to have some problems because Bay Street got to get their money first.
They take theirs on top.
That's it. That's the way the system is.
Let me take mine out first. And then...
And no matter what color it is.
My God.
And that's why we always blaming, the people in Spanish Isles, they got all this money. They go fishing and they send all them their fish to Red Lobster and all over the world. Man, let the people eat. Guess what? Every island in this country has red snapper. You know how much a red snapper? A cooler red snapper? $1,200.
A cooler.
A cooler. That's why I told you, and I just finished fixing my boat. Where do you think I go with? You know where I live? I live 2 miles from Clifton Bay, you know. You know what Clifton Bay is? 2,000 feet of water. You know what's in that 2,000 feet of water? Red snapper. I ain't playing. You better find a way to secure yourself in this country because those people don't want you to. And by them even listening to me, Howard, you know what happens? The cost to insure your boat goes up. The cost to register your boat goes up. You don't have no decent ramps to launch your boat on. They make everything hard for you. And then they want to try to find a way to tax you. The fishermen watch and see if that's not coming soon. Because it's the last frontier of being a free man in this country.
Fishing.
They then got your Airbnb on lock.
It's two frontiers. Money is the real liberator in this country. But now we're having conversations where we're seeing our money move towards cards and move towards different mechanisms so they can always be able to keep track of that also. That's a deeper conversation, God. It's a heavy conversation.
But it's an unholy part of that too now. There's an unholy part of that too.
Of course there's an unholy part to that.
There's some sales going on the streets where the woman figure it don't make sense going on 9-to-5 job. She must have just taken hour by hour.
Yeah, but then see, you know something, I think that we need to be able to expand the conversation. Most recently, we've been able to see something, and we've seen medicinal cannabis taking on this kind of position. They are now agitating in the House of Assembly. We've seen the House of Assembly, the rosters in the House of Assembly yesterday being able to do those things. So beyond just medicinal cannabis, it's also for the purposes of religious usage. Now I see these things and the government being able to tout medicinal cannabis and this potential industry that could be able to bring in billions of dollars, so forth and so on. But if you watch TikTok and you watch all these little pretty gals and they're looking at these particular things, and you realize that there's another industry that's blowing up also.
Oh yeah.
You know what that industry is?
Yeah.
It's the sex industry.
Well, listen to me.
That is OnlyFans.
That's the unholy part of the conversation I'm talking about.
This is what we say.
This is what Dominican Republic has become number one for.
Listen, our government has already yielded to the idea that we see the potential that exists in this industry, which is cannabis and medicinal cannabis. They strategically being able to structure it in this particular manner. Medicinal cannabis, what I said to you, is only a beta test for recreational to be able to capture the 9.6 million people who come in here, which is going to double to 20 million in no time, double and triple to 20 million in no time, simply because we have access and liberty that exists in this particular space. So now they see the Bahamas as Ibiza. They see the Bahamas as this great place that you could come and get naked and get high and do all these particular things like that. If this is the proverbial gateway that's going to move us in this particular manner, then the next step, got to be being able to legalize, just like boogery. My God, I'm getting deep today.
The sex industry.
Just like boogery, once you do it within the confines of your own home, Once you do it on your own IP address that's that you can have a VPN on, you don't have nothing here in the Bahamas, you could do as you please.
Mm-hmm.
We will not prosecute you for that. And now girls locally could make money internationally and ain't got to do nothing.
The trickle-down effect.
Let's talk, man.
The trickle-down effect.
Take a telephone call. Call on the line. Go ahead.
Hey, thank you for taking my call. You know I enjoy when you two guys get it on, right?
Praise God.
Amen. Let's just talk about money, boats, and probably some numbers real quickly. As you may know, there are three sides to a coin, right? That's the PLP side, the F&M side, which is the head and the tail.
Mm-hmm.
And that side that the coin could roll on.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want us to have that side because when you rolling, you're moving, you're making money, you're in progress,
Mm-hmm.
you're going somewhere. You see your future. You're creating stuff. But they want that side that they could just march on. No matter whether it's head or tail, they just want to walk on that side. And that's where we are stuck.
Mm-hmm.
No one flipping you and say, go for it. All right? And it's a reason for that. Because clutter is the enemy of clarity. And I want you to picture this. Gaza Strip, where all this turmoil is going on now, where Jesus walked catching hell today, and I don't know why. But anyway, it's 25 miles by 6 miles. We 21 by 7.
Mm-hmm.
But they got 1.7 million people, and the majority of them are children. That's a little prison going up there, and guess what they're trying to do right here? Imprison us. And God, you know about boats. And I was telling Howard about boats. Because if you tie your boat too tight to the dock, and you are in London where the tide is going to go 12 feet high, your boat can be under when you come to it.
That's correct.
So we strap, and they know they're doing this to us.
Mm-hmm.
You know how I can tell you they know? Because they taught you in school that 1 + 1 is always equal to 2. But that ain't true. Because 1 + 1 is also equal to another 1. They don't want top of that other 1. You see? And 1 + 1 could be more. It could be 1, 0, because that's binary. They don't teach you how to use binary, but guess what? The Russians know. They know how to see numbers in small numbers. All right? So we need to really, really find a way to use the creative spirit in us. And like I would say, hey, cast your net, my brother, because you will have awareness and clarity. But to keep you lid and under is the order of the day, because guess what? There's not enough here to take care of everybody, and that's what they're trying to tell you. They're trying to tell you, we have to trickle it down. Let's have this trickle-down effect, and then that's how we can live. And I keep hearing politicians say that time and time again. But, it's about time we come from the bottom up.
My God.
Right?
I like that. Thank you, man.
But one more thing. One more thing I just want you to address, and probably people could practice this when they get home. If your house is full of cockroaches, right? Roaches like to eat just about anything, particularly onions. So here's what you do. Try this when you get home. Sprinkle some sodium bicarbonate. We call it baking soda. Sprinkle it on the onion. Let the roach eat the onion. And guess what happens? He implodes from the inside. Now, that's how we get rid of these cockroaches from around here.
My God.
All right?
That's heavy.
Have a nice day.
Thank you, my brother. Do appreciate your telephone call. One more call before we get it here. Caller on the line. Go ahead. Go ahead, caller.
Hello.
Hi. Hi. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I would like to send a little message to the Prime Minister, please.
Go ahead.
We're old and it's hot. It's 93 degrees every day now, and could he just open up one of these schools and let the old people them go and put and with the air condition and let all the old people them go in one of them rooms and sit from 10 o'clock until 6 o'clock in the evening, and we could be cool and then go home. It's real hot, and then see we don't have no money to pay the light bills.
I like what you're saying.
Could you?
So give me a suggestion. You believe that
summer just for July and August.
Just for July and August.
Next one is going to be even worse.
Yeah, the Prime Minister said your light bill at the end of July should be good. So they should be able to afford this. So you're saying they should be able to open up a little school someplace.
They have a little water and little stuff there.
When these schools, I want, look, Howard, I want about what the Prime Minister say. I want action. And they don't do them kind of things. So just open up a little room for us, like one of those rooms in the school, and let us have a little air from that and leave at 6 o'clock.
That's
because what he's saying, it still don't compute as to your light bill when it comes to you.
I like this.
So that's all I want to say. And thank you very much. And I'm enjoying the show. And tell the other guy hello for me. Thank you.
I'll do that. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. I like this, God. You know, I've been
Innovative thinking. You said it yourself. You said there are people in our country who can fix these things. They have the ability to be creative.
Let me tell
but the creative people are not coming to the forefront.
You ever been to Atlanta to the Coca-Cola
factory?
Like the Coca-Cola theme park. They have like a Coca-Cola theme park.
Yeah, I didn't go to the theme park,
Right?
but I've been to the center.
Right? So they have this kind of a space. We went to King's Dominion. We went to Lion Country. We went to my mother took us to the same mother who spoiled me.
Oh,
I
you
suppose.
spoiled boy.
Okay, so we went to this place, right? But I remember going into this place and there was a light mist that hit us, right? Every time you walk into the space, it was a light mist.
Cool it down.
It was a light mist that hit you, right? Now, listen, 100 and some degrees outside, and you walking in a theme park, and then there's a light mist, like water hit you from somewhere. They got the place laid out with pipes and like sprinklers all over the place that don't hit you hard, but hit you like with a nice
cooling effect.
a nice light mist,
They
right?
do that downtown.
And then they got fans all over the place, being able to redirect these things to cool people down.
Yes.
The government of the Bahamas need to create these kind of parks to be able to bring older people together, just as a time for socializing. I like these. See, this is what I'm talking about. I like creativity.
Yeah, little Junkanoo
This ain't hard.
and stuff like
Get
that.
some PVC pipe, put a little small hole in that. Make sure you can be able to get your compressor to push some things through that bomb.
But Howard.
This ain't hard.
But Howard.
This ain't even expensive.
Howard and hard.
This ain't hard.
It's hard and expensive.
Oh my God.
You talking about putting mist in water and we can't get water in the roof.
Listen to me. The rednecks is doing it in the back of the bush.
The rednecks work as a family. We ain't working as a family around here. That money got to go somewhere else.
We could do this, guys.
We can if we want to. I said we can
The
get
fellas
water
got
in the
tents
roof.
right there. You put one in the tent, put mama them under the tent.
boy.
Make sure you get that. People out
boy.
there selling
Listen to
food.
God.
Got a little fritters. You eating.
I can use
Somebody
Bahamian.
selling popsicle.
I can use Bahamian colloquialism
Come
for
on,
you.
man.
I use Bahamian talk on you. You is forget. You is forget. The straw market burned down next to the doggone water, man. We ain't got no water system to take care of the straw market. You forget it. You forget these things.
Yeah, but don't make me. You make me shame.
You forget these things.
You make me shame.
Simple things.
They had one
Simple
compressor to throw
things.
the water to me.
They ain't got no the straw market on the water.
You shame
and you ain't
all
got
us.
no water to take and spray down the straw
All
market and
us
save it.
be shame now. You shame us, my boy.
Jesus, man.
You shouldn't have put it like that.
And then you gonna put water park next to the cruise ship, right? All those things to do downtown. Who going from this water park you can do and walk up and down downtown when it's hot?
Yeah, but
everybody going to the water park now. So the merchants on Bay Street can't make no money. If the merchants on Bay Street can't make no money, they can't keep the staff. If you can't keep the staff, then you got a lot of people who are unemployed.
But Garth, 9.6 million people coming here, and the
To the water
merchants
park.
still ain't making no money.
To the water park.
They're making just enough money. I see my good friend down there, Byron. He making just enough money to pay them people who, because he always trying to help people. Making just enough money to pay these people. That's it. That's it. That's all. You don't make any money. You don't get rich by these things. It's not designed to make you rich. All you do is get by.
But y'all keep talking about the nation progressing, we going forward. We 51 years of age. What y'all talking about? This is what I'm asking you. What are we talking about? What is the real conversation here? You telling me that we're in a holding pattern. That's what you said. You said that.
It's a holding pattern.
And we're satisfied with that.
But when they can loose me, I can need that producer. Loose me, let me go. Let me take this quick commercial break, guys. I see your telephone calls coming in there. Let me be able to take this commercial break and be right back after this.
Painfully.
Foundation.
It's Whopper Wednesday every Wednesday at Burger King Nassau. Make your Wednesday sizzle and sink your teeth into a flame-grilled beef patty topped with tomatoes, fresh-cut lettuce, mayo, pickles, ketchup, and sliced onions, all on a toasted sesame seed bun with fries for only $5.95, including that. This Whopper Wednesday, grab a friend and head down to your favorite BK Nassau location for a flame-grilled Whopper made your way with crisp fries for only $5.95. Burger King Nassau, where taste is king.
Now Now let me see now. 326 EPIC. Hello? This Epic Eckert Battery. This Miss Beulah from round the corner. I hear you're selling tires now on Wolf Road too.
Praise the Lord. It's about time. I live Fox Hill and Fire Trail. It's too far.
That ain't all. They open Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Sunday and holiday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
My brother Sam, he's a hacker, and he could go right there and get fixed up.
Call us at 326 EPIC. We ship also to the Family Island.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Parents, it's that sweet time of year again. The kids are going back to school, so pick up your copy of the Nassau Guardian's Back to School Supplement, cause
it's the most wonderful time of the year.
Put your students in the latest styles at the lowest prices, because summer break is almost over, and our Back to School Supplement is filled with brand name back to school supplies at discounted prices, store locations, hours, and contact details.
It's the happiest season of all.
Advertisers, call the Nassau Guardian today at 302-2300 or call your account executive to get in on the 2 insertion deal. If it's uniforms, shoes, books, backpacks, calculators, art supplies, laptops, tablets, or whatever is on your back to school supply list, your ad should be in the Nassau Guardian's Back to School Supplement.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Great news! Ron's Electric Motors' new location on Cowpen Road, right next to Island Luck, is open Saturdays and Sundays. So for those needing repairs on electric motors, generators, welding machines, water pumps, battery chargers, electric lifts, transformers, and power tools, Ron's Cowpen Road location can have you up and running on weekends. Don't forget, you can still visit Ron's Electric Motors on Wolf Road and Claridge Road, and now Ron's new location on Cowpen Road. Dial 356-0249 or 323-5267.
Bonneville Bones, established in 1970, is the leader in men's fashion in the Bahamas. We're conveniently located in the mall at Marathon and the Harbor Bay Shopping Plaza, and fully stocked with everything you need for all occasions. Our Harbor Bay location is one door north of Alive, with the black and white signage of Bonneville Boutique. Both locations are open from 10 to 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Bonneville Bones and Bonneville Boutique, still the leader in men's fashion. Located in the mall at Marathon and the Harbor Bay Shopping Plaza.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Brand, your company. The lines are wide open. Sitting here with my good friend Garth Roseborough, just having good conversations about national growth and productivity, or the lack thereof. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Anywhere from the family of islands, 242-300, 5720. Hit me up, 422-4796. Garth, you know, I got a text. Let me see if I can find the text. I won't be able to read it. It says... I just told someone yesterday, I said, I was told by the minister, you could sell this, but don't expect too much because nobody knows you. This text is coming through. Somebody else texts along. I'm not going to read all this. I see people naming it. I'm not going to read that. Mm-hmm. And then they text this. He says, I just told someone yesterday. He says, they're bringing everything to dull down the people's minds and keep them stupid. This is a text that's coming through. And then it says, gaming drugs, and the next thing is prostitution. This is crazy. This is crazy. That why do we always have to go to the low-hanging fruit? Why don't we identify our people? And like our caller clearly indicated, not just black people, this is all of us in one bucket. All of us. Red, blue, black, yellow, off green, whatever color you are. All of us are in this one bucket, and we're not identified as capable of anything. We're viewed by this neo-colonialist government and this mindset that we don't need nothing. I just tell you, I had a conversation earlier today. The fella showed me all kind of zeros on one paper. Said, this is the money that was released, boom, 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 right? The conversation that we was having. And then I said, but why they didn't release it to the fella, right? So he said, because they didn't see him as a Negro to have the ability to understand this kind of money. They needed to take care of it. Is this how they think it?
Yes, sir. Yes,
that
sir.
no matter how much degree you got, 2, 3, 4, 5 degree, you're going off to school, you come back, you spend all your money, now you're broke. The best you could get is a government job. And wherever you come in, that's the number you can get till you get out.
And listen, I worked for a very short time with the government as a consultant. I want to give respect to many of the staff that work at BIC. There are some very brilliant people at BIC, but not given the opportunity to shine or to grow. It's a fixed occupation, as it were. In my last year there, I did not personally feel as if I was able to give all that I could possibly give. Most of the work I did was externally. All of the monies that I invested with the Bahamian people, I did with my own money. Upon leaving BIC, I had a meeting that they called me to, and I became a bit belligerent at the end. I became disenchanted. I felt disrespected. And so they called me to come to work. I'd actually stopped going to work. And they said, you need to to come to work. And I said, well, I'm not coming in there if I'm going to be disrespected. So when they called me in Howard, they had me sit outside in the lobby area from 8:30 that morning until 4 o'clock that evening. I didn't even have lunch. They kept me there. The chairman at that time kept me sitting there. I'm going to tell you the story. Sitting there. Then they called me into the boardroom, and they had food all over the place and didn't offer me a crumb. And then one of the board members said, Garth Roseborough, tell us about the beekeeping industry as an idea, because I had a national plan for the country. I'd already invested my own monies with the country. And I told them about beekeeping and the industry. I'd done this on all the other talk shows all over the nation, all over television. And so I told them what I knew from off the top of my head. And the general says, my God, this man is brilliant. When are we going to use his expertise and put this plan into effect? Well, Mr. Howard Grant was my last week on the job. I haven't had one since. This is what we do as people who have ideas, people who are creative, people who are learned. We put them in a corner and tell them, sit small till your name called. And you know, me for one, I was one of the most biggity Bahamian people when I ready. I said, to hell with you and your money, keep your money, I going home. I could do better by myself. And so many Bahamians are now saying, to hell with you and your flag and your country. If I don't go home to where I live and do better by myself, I'm going over to North America, I'm going over to Halifax in Canada, I'm going over to Europe in England, and I'm going to build their country, and to hell with your little small island country. That's what these politicians are breeding.
It's more than a small island country. It's a small island mindset.
But the people love this country, but you're so frustrated. It's like, how could you love something that will never love you back?
This is heavy, God.
How can you do it?
You love something that'll never love you back.
Never love you back.
That's the Bahamas.
That's how you feel about it. God gave you the sun. He gave you the sand. He gave you the sea. He gave you beauty. Man, our women off the chain. But when you talk to them, they ain't got no sense, some of them. These fellas, they look all muscular, and they got on Jordans and all type of nice clothes to wear. But when you go inside the house, they ain't got no grocery. They ain't got the electricity off, the water off, the clothes on the floor scattered all over the place. They nasty, dirty, grimy. That's the type of country we live in. Everyone pretending as if we okay. And like you said, how are we so far from being okay? It's unbelievable.
That's crazy.
Unbelievable.
God, that's a lot of analogy, because you carried me in that fella house just now, and the only thing I saw is his dirty sheets.
I go to the lady house in her underwear and stuff all over the place, and I'm like, what the hell? This is the type of country we got, man.
nasty.
But when they're on the road, they look so good. That's why I said to you, on the global stage, the Bahamas look so beautiful. And then when you come here, you can't even take a bath and you lose for us as a tourist?
You take
Come
a
on, man.
My God. Let's take a telephone call. Call on the line. Go ahead. Call on the line. Go ahead. 323-623-235-4316, 325-429. These last few moments. 300-5720 or hit me up 422-4796. He says these oligarchs do not want to let go. They are too drunk with power. And the sad thing is that we, the people, are making them the billionaires and slaving and watching our future disappear right in front of our eyes. Even attempted murder on our people that are whistleblowers in this country is on a highway to hell. I do not want my kids to grow up to be drug dealers. But the Prime Minister says there's many slave jobs coming. There's a text is coming through. There's a heavy text is coming through. Right? So it says, sound like a mango skin gal.
Oh, have mercy, Lord Jesus.
sound like a mango skin gal. He said, I love them back. They will not love you back. My God, there's a text is coming through, right? Let me take a telephone call. Call on the line. Go ahead. Go ahead, caller.
Leave out one thing. You have judges in this country who are representing or overseeing their tenant cases. And you know something wrong with this country. Leave it just like that.
I appreciate the telephone call, my brother. Let me take a next telephone call. Call on the line. Go ahead. Guys, you got a couple seconds if you want to be able to get in here before we get out. This is Howard. How about them just using the free hot sun for energy instead of them charging us for the sun to enrich their cronies? They think we are dumb. We can see right through this. This is a text that's coming through, right? It says, Howard, tell that lady those lousy children won't pick up their old people at the end of the day. That can't work. This is the story that they say.
People can leave their mom and pa in the school all day and don't pick them up.
Where mommy is? You all need to stop. You think people that bad? There's a text is coming through, right? So let me take that telephone call before we get in here. Call on the line. Go ahead. Call on the line. Go ahead. He must get something wrong with the line. Let's see if we can be able to do this.
Well, Howard, I know something. The election is coming. I can almost assure you that Howard Grant has the ability to take each constituency and the candidates, and he likes to use the word chop it down. I don't think we're going to allow any member of parliament or anyone contesting a seat in this country to go unscathed. We are going to take you on this show. And if I'm alive, I'll come and support Howard Grant on the foundation. And we are prepared to just pull you apart and investigate and check you out to ensure that you, the Bahamian people, have an opportunity to choose the proper candidate for this country in 2026.
I like this guy.
That's a commitment the foundation,
That's
I'm
exactly
sure,
what I can do.
is going to do. So if you plan on running, and you just running just for your own good and your own gain, we will call you out on this. We're sick and tired of you people playing hopscotch with the Bahamian people. And guess what? You cannot leave Howard Grant by himself. If I'm volunteering to be here, you volunteer to call in, you volunteer to say your piece, and let's expose these people and send them away from the House of Parliament.
My God. Telephone call on the line. Go ahead.
Yes, hello. Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. How you doing?
Everything's great. Garth, I hope you're well. It's always good to listen to this awesome show. It's the innovation and the concepts are literally world-changing.
Thank
you. A few points and I'll make them quick. Earlier on, you spoke on fishing and the power of the red snapper. I'll go ahead and add this. If you feed a man, if you teach a man to fish, you feed him for a day and all that other good saying. But what happens if you also show him how to farm? Between fishing and farming, just imagine that fried snapper with some fresh pineapples and some sweet watermelon and some nice sea grapes. Envision that.
Now I know you ain't living in the Bahamas today. You abroad somewhere because you sound you reminiscent.
That sounds good though.
Moving on, I'll make it quick. The lady who called on in, I'll go ahead and say this again, Howard. Have not, and ain't gonna get.
Have not, and ain't gonna get. I appreciate your telephone call, my brother.
It was just proven again. And the last point I'm going to make, Howard. Earlier this week, you spoke after that incident that happened with the former prime minister. You said you spoke with your son. And the conversation was, you're looking at your son possibly coming home because of, some of the tension that may be here. But I put this question to you, Howard, and I hope you could answer me fairly quickly. Where would you feel more comfortable walking with your son? In the city highways and byways of Nassau, Bahamas, or in South Carolina? Walking with your son.
That's a heavy question. That is a heavy question. That's a heavy question. Because we know that the racial tension has been buried and there is a significant tolerance that exists in the Carolinas right now. My fear is that being unearthed. But we also know here locally that there is criminal intention that is ever present. Talk to me. That is a heavy question that he asked me. I don't know how to answer it yet.
So it's also safe to see, as God said, we have to worry about our own as opposed to others. Because I work in numerous counties in Georgia, West Georgia. I'm actually in West Georgia right now. And one thing I'm not concerned with is an individual coming up to me with a certain type of flag on. But I am afraid of my daughters, 18 and 21, coming to the Bahamas to sit with their Grammy. Y'all have a good day.
That is crazy. Thank you so much for your telephone call. Garth, that's a perspective that he has in there. I like that. Let me take a telephone call. Caller, go on the line.
Howard.
Hey.
A pleasant good afternoon.
Good afternoon, my brother. What's up?
And to your good friend, God. Howard, what you must do now, I hope you will pull up the Commonwealth of Bermuda so we can show exactly what the individuals are being paid. We can't run away from that, Howard. We may as well go ahead and do it.
For a population that's about $70,000, their members of parliament making about $70,000 as a member of parliament. As a member of parliament. For cabinet ministers, it's about $100,000, right? We looked at this and kind of chop it down. And so it's a disparity that exists in these particular places, and we are in a better financial position than Bermuda, but we still find our persons being paid significantly less than those persons in Bermuda. And so when we look at it, when we look at the Commonwealth of Nations, and we look at our position and our progression and growth and so forth and so on, we find ourselves in this kind of position, questioning whether there's any value placed on our people. And some people, they're so exhausted with the question that they throw their hands up and say, it is what it is. It is what it is. In the islands of the Bahamas. That's the show today, man. I want to thank you guys for being able to participate the way that you have. I want to be able to thank you. I got some great telephone calls to talk about our innovation. I think that's what we're going to do here. As on the foundation, that's what we're seeking to do, that we've sought after in terms of being able to talk about growth, development, and being able to change our perspective, not being able to see things the way that they've always been, but understanding, just like the caller today, that the two sides of the coin have one side that is spinning on. Let's spin on that coin to define productivity in this country. My brother Garth, I want to thank you so much for being able to be with us today.
Pleasure.
Guys, I'm going to see you tomorrow, God Spirit Life, right here on The Foundation. Have a beautiful day. Tomorrow is Small Business Thursday. I'd love you guys to be able to participate. If you want to do so, 827-0111, 827-0111. We're going to see you tomorrow, God Spirit, right here on The Foundation. Have a great day.
The Foundation. Foundation.